When a man truly likes you, his actions will speak louder than his words. Love and attraction aren't always expressed in grand, dramatic ways. In fact, the most meaningful signs are often found in the small, everyday moments. You may find yourself wondering, does he really like me? Or am I just imagining things? But if you pay close attention, you'll start to notice the subtle ways he's showing his feelings, sometimes without even realizing it himself. Men aren't always the best at putting their emotions into words, but their behavior can tell you everything you need to know. When a guy is genuinely interested in you, he won't leave you guessing. He'll make an effort to be around you, to listen to you, and to make your life better in ways both big and small. It's in the way he remembers tiny details from your conversations, how he lights up when he sees you, and the little excuses he makes just to be near you. Unlike casual interest, where a man might be inconsistent or distant, a man who truly likes you will be steady and intentional in his actions. He won't just be there when it's convenient. He'll prioritize you, making time for you even when he's busy. He'll show up, not just physically, but emotionally. He'll care about your thoughts, your happiness, and your well-being, proving that he's not just interested in a fleeting romance, but something deeper. The beauty of these signs is that they often happen naturally. A man in love doesn't have to force himself to check up on you, to remember things about you, or to find joy in making you smile. These things come effortlessly because when someone truly likes you, their mind and heart are already focused on you. They might not even realize how obvious they're being, but to an observer, their actions make it clear. This is someone who genuinely cares. If you've been trying to figure out whether a certain man in your life is really into you, then this list is for you. These 15 signs will help you understand whether his feelings are real and whether he sees you as someone truly special. Pay attention to the little things, because in love, those are often the biggest indicators of all. 1. He constantly texts or calls you, even without a reason. He's the type of guy who doesn't wait for a special occasion to reach out. You'll find that his texts or calls are just an excuse to check in with you, even when there's nothing urgent to talk about. It's almost like he's thinking about you, and even the smallest reason feels big enough to start a conversation. It's not about needing something. It's simply his way of staying connected with you, of keeping you in his mind. You might notice that his messages aren't just routine ones. He'll ask how your day went, what you're up to, or even what you're having for lunch. These little interactions might seem trivial, but it's his way of letting you know he's thinking about you. Even if he's busy, he'll find a moment to shoot you a text, just so you know he hasn't forgotten you. It's the constant effort to keep the lines of communication open, not because he has to, but because he genuinely wants to. You might not always respond right away, but it doesn't stop him from reaching out again, proving that you're always on his mind, even when he doesn't have a real reason to reach out. 2. He remembers small details about your life. He's the kind of guy who pays attention to the little things you mention, even in passing. Whether it's something as simple as your favorite coffee order or the book you've been wanting to read, he remembers. You might be surprised when he brings it up months later, making you realize that he was listening all along. It's not about making big gestures. It's in the quiet moments when he recalls something small you said, and it shows he genuinely cares about what's important to you. It's not just about remembering birthdays or major events. He remembers what makes you smile or the things that frustrate you. For instance, he'll ask if you're still taking that art class you mentioned last summer, or if you ever finished that project you were working on. It's his way of showing that he values your interests and what you've shared with him. It might seem like nothing to him, but to you, it means a lot because it shows he's paying attention, he remembers, and he truly values the connection you two have. The fact that he's able to keep track of the little details shows how much he thinks about you and how much he cares to know what makes your world tick. 3. He's always asking how you're doing, even when you're fine. No matter how often you assure him that everything is good, he's always checking in to make sure. It's not that he doubts you, but he genuinely wants to know how you're feeling, even when you say there's nothing wrong. You might catch him asking, "How's your day going?" or "Is everything okay?" even when you're perfectly fine. It's his way of showing he cares and wants to be involved in your life, even in the smallest moments. You can tell there's a deeper concern in his questions. It's not just small talk. He's paying attention to your tone, the energy in your voice, and the little details that hint at how you might really be feeling. Maybe you're not dealing with anything big, but his constant check-ins show that he wants to make sure you're doing well, inside and out. It's like he's always keeping tabs, not because he's overbearing, but because he genuinely wants to be there for you. His care isn't limited to the big problems in life. He's there for the little things too, making sure you feel seen and heard, even when nothing seems off. 4. He makes time for you, no matter how busy he is. Even with his packed schedule, he'll always find a way to make time for you. Whether it's a quick text during a meeting, a phone call in between appointments, or squeezing in a last-minute coffee date after a long work day, he prioritizes you. It's not about having an empty calendar. It's about making you a priority. You might see him juggling responsibilities, yet he still carves out moments to connect with you, showing that you matter more than the chaos around him. It's a subtle but powerful gesture. He doesn't just squeeze you in when it's convenient. He goes out of his way to ensure that spending time with you is something he values, no matter how hectic his life gets. When someone truly likes you, time is one thing they will never claim to be short of, because they'll always make the effort. Whether it's a 5-minute conversation or a longer hangout, you know that when you're with him, he's fully present. It's the consistency of his effort, the way he chooses to dedicate even a few minutes of his day to you, that speaks volumes about how much he cares and wants to be around. 5. He's often found looking at you when you're not looking. It's one of those things you might not catch right away, but when you do, it's impossible to ignore. You'll find him staring at you when you're looking the other way, his gaze soft, almost like he's lost in thought, but it's always on you. There's something about the way he looks at you that shows he's paying attention, even when you're unaware. It's not obvious, but it's constant, as if he can't help but admire you in quiet moments. It's not just a quick glance either. There's depth in his stare. Sometimes you'll catch him looking at you when you're talking to someone else, or focused on something, and when your eyes meet, he quickly looks away, almost as if embarrassed you caught him. It's the kind of look that lingers, revealing a sense of warmth and affection that he doesn't always express out loud. His attention is on you in a way that says he's interested, he's curious, and he's drawn to you, even when you're not aware of it. That quiet admiration says more than words ever could. It's as if you're always on his mind, even when you're not in the spotlight. 6. He finds reasons to talk or chat, even about random things. He's the kind of person who doesn't need a reason to reach out. He just wants to keep the conversation flowing. Even if it's something as random as the weather, a meme he found funny, or a weird fact he learned, he'll find a way to get you talking. It's not about the topic, it's about the connection. When he likes you, he'll take any opportunity to spark a conversation, just to hear your voice, share something that reminded him of you, or simply check in and make sure you're doing all right. It's almost like he'll get creative in finding little reasons to reach out, even when there's no obvious need. Maybe he'll send a funny text about a random encounter he had, or ask about something small you once mentioned. It could be a trivial question, like, "Did you ever get that book you wanted?" Or a random thought like, "Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?" It might seem like nothing, but it's his way of staying present in your life. He doesn't wait for the perfect excuse to talk. He makes one just to be in your world, to keep the conversation alive, and to show you that you're on his mind. 7. He gets nervous or fidgety around you, like he's trying to impress you. When he's around you, his nerves are hard to miss. It's not that he's uncomfortable, quite the opposite really. It's more that he wants to make a good impression, and sometimes that excitement comes out in the form of fidgeting. You might see him adjusting his clothes, fixing his hair, or shifting his position a little too much. His hands might be slightly restless, or he might have that look of anticipation in his eyes. like he's trying to get everything just right. It's the kind of nervous energy that shows he cares about how he comes across to you. You might also catch him stammering when he talks, especially when you're the center of his attention. He's trying to express himself, but the thought of impressing you might make his words stumble a little. Maybe he's doing something simple, like walking beside you, but he keeps glancing over at you, adjusting his posture, or even smiling awkwardly. His nervousness isn't about discomfort. It's because he's invested in how you see him, wanting to put his best foot forward and hoping he leaves a good impression. That little bit of vulnerability is his way of showing you that he cares more than he might let on. It's that feeling of wanting you to notice him, and it comes through in those small, yet noticeable actions. 8. He talks about the future and includes you in his plans. When he talks about the future, it's clear that he's imagining a place for you in it. Whether it's something as simple as planning a weekend trip or as big as mentioning the next year, he casually drops hints that you're part of his long-term thoughts. He talks about things like future vacations, career moves, or personal goals. And somehow, you're always included. It's not just a random mention either. It's the way he says things like, "We should definitely check out that new cafe next month," or "It would be so fun to visit that place we talked about next summer." The fact that he includes you in his plans, no matter how big or small, speaks volumes. He doesn't make these mentions out of obligation or just to fill silence. He makes them because he genuinely wants you to be part of his journey. You're not just someone in his present, you're someone he's considering for the future, whether it's in his career, his lifestyle, or even his personal dreams. This is a guy who sees potential in your connection and is comfortable enough to talk about what's to come, naturally weaving you into the fabric of his future. It shows that he's invested in more than just the here and now. He's already thinking about building something lasting. And that's a pretty clear sign he's serious about you. 9. He pays extra attention to your social media activity. It's not just that he follows you on social media, it's the way he seems to notice everything you post, even the smallest details. Whether it's a photo of your lunch or a status update about something you're excited about, he's there, liking, commenting, or sending you a message to tell you how cool he thinks it is. It's as if he's keeping tabs on your world, not in a creepy way, but because he's genuinely interested in what you're sharing. You might notice that he's one of the first to comment on your posts, or he'll bring up something you posted a while ago in conversation. "Hey, that trip you took last month looked amazing." Or, "I saw that meme you shared yesterday and I couldn't stop laughing." He's not just scrolling past your updates, he's engaging with them, showing he's paying attention to your life, even in the digital spaces where you share bits of yourself. It's a sign that he's tuned in to what's going on with you, not just in person, but online too. The way he interacts with your social media is his way of showing he's keeping up with you, even when you're not together. It's like a modern-day version of showing affection, and it's clear he's invested in getting to know you, on and offline. 10. He tries to make you laugh or smile, no matter what. No matter what kind of day you're having, he's always trying to put a smile on your face. Whether it's cracking a silly joke, sending you a funny meme, or teasing you in a playful way, he just wants to see you happy. It's not about being the funniest guy in the room, it's about making sure you feel good when you're around him. Even if his jokes are cheesy or his humor is a little offbeat, the effort he puts into making you laugh is what truly matters. You might notice how he goes out of his way to lighten the mood when you're stressed or upset. Maybe he does an exaggerated impression of someone, playfully mocks something you both dislike, or shares a funny story just to distract you from whatever's weighing on your mind. It's his way of showing he cares, because when a guy truly likes you, your happiness is important to him. Even in simple moments, he's always looking for ways to bring a little joy into your day. Whether it's a sarcastic remark, a goofy dance, or just making fun of himself, he wants to be the reason you smile. And honestly, that's one of the sweetest signs that he genuinely likes you. 11. He asks your opinion on important matters, showing he values your thoughts. When a man truly likes you, your opinion isn't just something he listens to, it's something he values. He doesn't just ask random questions to make conversation. He genuinely wants to know what you think about important things in his life. Whether it's about his career, a tough decision he's facing, or even something personal, he seeks your perspective because he trusts your judgment. You'll notice how he brings things up, saying, "What do you think I should do?" Or, "I really want to hear your thoughts on this." It's not just small talk, it's his way of showing that your voice matters to him. He respects your intelligence, your insight, and the way you see the world, and that's a big deal. Even in day-to-day situations, he'll include you in his decision-making. Maybe he asks what you think about a new job offer, seeks advice on a family issue, or even asks for your thoughts on something as simple as what to wear to an event. It's his way of showing that he doesn't just like you, he values you. When a man consistently considers your thoughts before making choices, it's a strong sign that he sees you as someone important in his life. 12. He remembers the little things you've said in past conversations. When a man genuinely likes you, he doesn't just hear your words, he remembers them. Even the smallest details from casual conversations stick with him, and he'll bring them up later in ways that might surprise you. Maybe you once mentioned your favorite coffee order in passing, and the next time you meet, he hands you that exact drink without you even asking. Or perhaps you told him about a childhood dream, and weeks later, he randomly asks, "Hey, do you still want to visit that place you always talked about?" It's not about grand gestures. It's about those little moments that show he truly listens. He pays attention when you speak because he cares. And that means your words don't just go in one ear and out the other. He remembers the book you wanted to read, the way you like your food, or even that random story you shared about your family. He might casually bring up something you mentioned ages ago, and that's when it hits you. He's been paying attention all along. This kind of effort isn't something men do for just anyone. It's a clear sign that you're important to him, and he wants you to know that what you say truly matters. 13. He likes to surprise you with thoughtful gestures or gifts. When a man really likes you, he finds joy in making you feel special through thoughtful surprises. It's not about expensive gifts or grand gestures. It's the small, meaningful things that show he's been paying attention. Maybe he surprises you with your favorite snack just because he remembered you love it. Or he sends you a song that reminds him of you. He might pick up a little souvenir from a place he visited because it made him think of you. Or randomly bring you coffee on a busy day just to make things easier for you. These gestures aren't just for show. They come from a place of genuine care. He wants to see you happy, and he puts in the effort to make that happen. Even if it's something as simple as leaving you a sweet note or remembering to wish you luck before an important event, he makes sure you feel appreciated. His surprises aren't about impressing you. They're about letting you know you're always on his mind. A guy who goes out of his way to do thoughtful things for you isn't just casually interested. He's showing, in his own way, that you mean a lot to him. 14. He finds excuses to be near you or spend time with you. When a man truly likes you, he doesn't leave things up to chance. He creates opportunities to be around you. Even if he doesn't always have a solid reason, he'll find little excuses just to be near you. Maybe he suddenly develops an interest in something you like, conveniently shows up where you are, or volunteers to help with things just to spend extra time with you. It's not a coincidence, it's intentional. You'll notice how he lingers a little longer in conversations, takes the longer route just to walk with you, or finds reasons to sit next to you in a group. If you mention needing help with something, he's the first to offer, even if it's something small. And if there's no real reason to see you, he might come up with one. Maybe he forgets something just so he has a reason to come back. Or he casually suggests hanging out because he was in the area. These little moments aren't random. They're his way of getting closer to you. If he consistently puts in the effort to be around you, it's because he doesn't just enjoy your company, he wants to be part of your world. 15. He often brings up memories you've shared, indicating they mean a lot to him. When a man really likes you, he doesn't just live in the moment, he holds on to the memories you've shared. He'll bring up small moments from the past, not just as casual conversation, but because they actually mean something to him. Maybe he reminds you of a joke you both laughed about weeks ago, or brings up that random adventure you had together. He might even recall something you barely remember saying, proving that those moments stuck with him more than you realized. It's his way of reliving the time spent with you, showing that he values those experiences. When he says things like, "Remember that time we stayed up talking for hours?" Or, "I still laugh when I think about what you said that day." He's not just reminiscing, he's letting you know those memories are special to him. People don't remember meaningless moments. And if he keeps bringing up things you've done together, it's because they matter to him. It's a sign that he cherishes the time you've spent and wants to create even more memories with you. When a man truly likes you, you won't have to wonder forever. His actions will show you. Love isn't always about grand romantic gestures or dramatic confessions. More often than not, it's found in the little things, the thoughtful texts, the way he remembers details about you, and how he makes an effort to be a part of your life. If he consistently shows these signs, it's because you genuinely mean something to him. The beauty of real attraction is that it's effortless. He won't be forcing himself to check in on you or creating fake reasons to be around you. He'll want to do these things because you're always on his mind. A man who truly likes you will be interested in your happiness, your thoughts, and your future. He won't just be present when it's convenient. He'll make time for you, even when he's busy. However, it's also important to remember that not every man expresses affection the same way. Some may be more verbal, while others may show their feelings through actions. The key is consistency. If his behavior towards you is steady, genuine, and full of care, then his feelings are real. But if he's hot and cold, only showing interest when it suits him, then he may not be as invested as you'd like. The biggest takeaway? Pay attention to how he treats you over time. If a man really likes you, he will prioritize you, respect you, and want to be a part of your world in a meaningful way. You won't have to question his feelings because he'll make them clear through his actions. So, if you're seeing these signs in someone, chances are he truly cares about you. And if he doesn't, don't waste your time waiting for someone to prove their interest, when deep down, you already know the truth. The right person won't leave you doubting. They'll make you feel valued, appreciated, and most importantly, loved.